mga kababayan, magandang gabi, magandang araw. Assalamualaikum. Greetings of goodwill sa inyong lahat. Sa pagkakataong ito, gusto kong bigyan diin o bigyan ko ng emphasis yung dating video presentation na ginawa ko. Sa pagkakataong ito, gusto kong i-highlight yung imbalance of immunity or contempt ng mga senador natin sa kongresista vis-a-vis their ethics. Alam niyo po mga kababayan, itong immunity at saka contempt power na binigay ng ating konstitusyon sa ating mga mambabatas ay dapat may kaakibat itong strong ethical rules. Yun ang sinasabi ng mga expert dito sa ating karating bansa katulad ng Indonesia. Maraming continuing discussion dito sa Indonesia. Although wala pa nako contempt dito sa Indonesia sa mga naimbita nila, there is an immunity. At saka yun, there's a continuous discussion dito sa immunity kasi nakikita rin ng mga Indonesians na hindi pa balansi yung immunity privilege ng mga mababatis nila vis-a-vis yung ethical rules nila. Ang gusto dito, ang pinag-usapan dito is the right balance. Ibig sabihin, there must be strict rules. Kung halimbawa nag-aabuso yung legislator, yung members of the parliament, there should be a strict rule na i-expel siya kahit binuto siya ng mamamayan. So, with that strict rules among others, perhaps there is a balance of power. In the case of the Philippines, the balance of power of immunity and contempt powers of the legislator natin, mga mabatas natin, vis-a-vis their ethical demeanor, their ethical behavior, their ethical actions. Gusto kong ibahagi yung karanasan at kaalaman ko dito sa karating bansa sa Southeast Asia, particular sa Indonesia, where I have been here, kung saan ako naging residente for the last 40 years dito, at sa mga taon na nakapag-interact ako in the course of my work dito sa Southeast Asia. Ang tanong ko sa ating mga kababayan sa ngayon ay, may abuso ba sa Senado at sa Kongreso dahil sa imbalance ng immunity and contempt versus rules of ethical behavior ng mga legislator natin? Kung titingnan natin yung parang timbangan, it appears na mas mabigat yung power, mas malakas yung power ng mga senador at saka kongresista natin. Meron silang immunity, meron silang contempt power. Kaya nga maraming nakikita natin sa mga Senate hearing, sa mga congressional hearing, karamihan marami nako-contempt, pakukulong, contempt, pakukulong. Tapos pag hindi ka makasagot doon sa gusto nila, apparently sasabihin sa iyo nagsisinungaling ka, tapos iko-contempt ka, kukulong ka diyan sa Senado o sa Kongreso. Tapos nagkakaroon ng maraming quote-unquote defamatory remarks, libelous remarks. Halimbawa, in the case ng hearing where one of our senators nagkaroon ng konting confrontation with Secretary Galvez of the Presidential Peace. Siya yung advisor at saka I think he is a cabinet member, of the current administration. Yung sinasabi siyang may implication, insinuation na corrupt siya at saka yung buong institusyon na handle niya, na hawak niya. Another case in point is yung isang senador natin din na sinasabihan yung isang billionaire na si Mr. Consonhe na huwag kang matulog dito, bastos yan. Tapos yun, medyo very degrading, medyo hindi magandang tingnan yung demeanor na yan, yung behavior na yan. Bakit ito nangyayari? Kasi because of the dominance in terms of power of the Senate and the Congress kasi meron silang immunity at saka contempt powers. Yung recent case is yung kay Apostol Kibuloy, where nakikita natin kahit na solution according to the lawyers of Pastor Kibuloy ay nagsasaad na doon na a phrase saying that ang taong gumagawa ng krimen. So sa resolution pa lang meron ng judgment of guilt by using the phrase taong gumagawa ng krimen, at saka makita mo doon sa chairman ng committee na nag-conduct ng hearing, palaging sinasabing a crime of rape, ginawa mo ito, crime of trafficking, gawa mo ito, dapat panagutan mo ito. Tapos yung mga statement, interviews, pronouncements ng chairman of the committee nagsasabing this Senate hearing shall seek justice for the victim survivors. Ibig sabihin seek justice, hindi na yan for aid of legislation. It's a prosecutory investigation already. Kaya the reason why nagkakaroon sila ng ganyang attitude, medyo kung sabihin kung in the phrase dito sa karating masa natin, especially sa Indonesia, ang tawag dito is arrogante. Yeah. So kaya the reason why is there is immunity and there's contempt power. Bakit sa Indonesia? Meron din dito sa Indonesia, meron ding immunity privileges yung mga legislator. Pero wala pa kung nakikita nagko-contempt sila, kinukulong nila yung mga inimbitahan nila dito sa Indonesia. Pero sa Pilipinas, mga Kongreso at Senado, very easy for them to act or to rule a contempt doon sa mga inimbitahan pagkatapos kinukulong. Kaya kung titingnan natin, there seems to be an imbalance, between sa power of immunity at sa contempt doon sa atin sa Pilipinas vis-a-vis doon sa ethical behavior, ethical demeanor, ethical actions ng mga legislators natin, yung mga mambabatas natin. Pag hindi ito balance, nakakaroon ng pergaduan kundi sa Indonesia, pagkaroon ng hindi lang confusion, pagkaroon ng disagreements, pagkaroon ng differences of opinion, nagkaroon ng iba-ibang emosyon, may pro and contra. Kung titingnan mo talaga bakit may pro and contra, kasi wala tayong ethical rules na very strong na nagmamanage, na nagbabalance doon sa strong power of immunity at saka contempt. Kaya kung titingnan natin the context dito sa legislators, sa legislatives, kung titingnan natin in the context of legislative system of Indonesia dito, tsaka yung mga karating bansa natin, kagaya ng Singapore, Malaysia, ang nangyayari yan is parang free for all yung pagdi-defame mo, pag-express mo ng libelous statements, the most important, the most talagang is yung sinasabi dito sa aking host country na fitna. Fitna is an unproven accusation. Kaya kung alis pa lang yan, unproven pa, hindi mo pwede masabi na itong tao na to ay gumawa ng krimen. Kasi it is still to be proven. Pag sinasabi mo yan, is already a fitna, which is actually fitna in Islam is a serious offense, is a serious sin, is a grievous sin, as spelled out in the Al-Quran. Is a greater crime than murder. Kasi yung fitna daw, yung murder, mapatay ka na, you will no longer feel the pain. But pag gumawa ka ng fitna, unproven accusation, sa buong buhay mo hanggang mamatay, dala-dala mo yan. Kaya, sometimes they said, fitna or unproven accusation is greater than murder. Mga kababayan, anong recourse natin dito sa indicative imbalance between the power of contempt, the power of immunity dun sa mga mambabatas natin vis-a-vis their ethical behavior, ethical actions. Kumbaga, activities or acquisitions, both verbal and non-verbal doon sa Senado at saka sa Kongreso. I would like to share with you kung anong ginagawa ng mga mamamayan ng Indonesia. Merong isang celebrated case. This is during the peak of the pandemic na nangyari ito. So, what happened is that ang isang legislator, dalawa yung point niya, medyo nag-dismerse siya doon sa isang community, sa isang ethnic group, kasi may nagsalita doon in bahasa Indonesia, tapos may konting halo ng what you call the local language. Criticize niya yun because he said, we have to use only bahasa Indonesia in this parliament. So medyo nagagalit yung buong community kasi we are Indonesia. Hindi lang naman isang langwahe ang Indonesia. Okay? So medyo the whole community who speaks that language, which is actually Sunda. Kumbaga sa atin yan parang Kapampangan, parang Cebuano, parang ganyan. Isang ethnic group sila, nasasaktan sila. Ang pangalawang kasalanan ng legislator na ito is yung sinasabi niya doon sa hearing na itong justice na ito in the higher court, that is equivalent to Court of Appeal sa atin sa Pilipinas. So isang judge na nagsasalita ng mixed bahasa Indonesia at saka Sunda, sinasabihan niya doon sa parang pinaka-head ng higher court sa Court of Appeals, because yung hearing nila is with the prosecution service. Sinasabihan niya, itong justice na ito, palitan mo itong justice na to, just because of that mix articulation, bahasa Indonesia mixed with a local language called Sunda. So yun, nagalit yung mga Sundanese people. Ang ginawa nila, the courses of action that they have done is, number one, they declare this legislator persona non grata doon sa communities nila. Nilagyan nila ng mga posters, nilagyan nila ng mga streamers diyan sa road, you are no longer welcome here. Do not visit this place because you are not welcome. Sino naglagay initiative ng what we call Council of Elders doon sa community? Hindi local government, but basically an action by the people, by the community, through their Council of Elders. Through their Council of Elders. Pagkatapos, pumunta sila doon sa party, the headquarters of the party where this initiative belongs. This party is very strong. It's a dominant political party in Indonesia. It's actually headed by the daughter of former President Sukarno. So, they asked the political leadership to recall. Ibig sabihin yan, tanggalin itong legislator na ito. I-recall. Sa Indonesia, pwede mo i-recall yung legislator under that party. Pwede mo i-recall tapos palitan. They demand from the political leadership na tanggalin na itong legislator na ito. Kasi arrogante. Ang sabi, arrogant, sumbong, hambog, parang ganyan. That's basically the position of the community. The third that they have done was to file a complaint with the IMCADI. They file a complaint with the Ethics Tribunal of the Parliament. Sinusumbong nila ito because of this kasalanan na ginawa ng legislator. Ang ginawa nila is to file a complaint with the Ethics Tribunal of the Parliament. At the same time, they have a rally outside the Parliament, they have a demonstration outside the Parliament to articulate their demands. So, anong ginawa ng mamamayan ng Indonesia for this, what they call an arrogant legislator? Number one, they declare this legislator persona non grata in their community. Number two, they ask the political party to recall. Tanggalin na ito, tanggalin na itong legislator na ito. Gusto pa nga nilang ipa-expel sa party, tapos palitan with another legislator. Pumunta sila sa Ethics Tribunal. Sa Ethics Tribunal, pumunta sila to file a complaint. Tsaka they conducted a rally at demo to support their complaint with the Ethics Tribunal. Now, on top of that, may parang silang sa police. Alam nila na medyo weak yung weak yung report nila sa police, sa kapulisan. Alam nila na weak yung complaint doon sa kapulisan because alam nila na itong legislator na ito with the initial of AD, mean to say AD, with the initial of AD, Alpha, Delta, alam nila na it's difficult to prosper at the kapulisan. The reason why, kasi may immunity nga itong legislator na ito. Pero pumunta pa rin sila, nag-file pa rin sila ng police report, complaint. Ibig sabihin na, they ask for, I think yung kaso nila is libel, cyber libel, because naka-live stream yung parliamentary. Pagkatapos, sabi ng kapulisan na after they're investigating, yung response nila is that they could not proceed we could not act prospectively, or they cannot process further the police complaint or the complaint against this legislator because of that immunity privilege that legislator. Pero sabi nila, if the Ethics Tribunal will rule na ito nagkasala and recommend for a criminal investigation, we will pursue it. And kung may makita talaga namin there's a ground on the basis of that statement from the Ethics Tribunal, we will proceed and eventually charge this legislator. Yun po mga kababayan, gusto kong i-share sa inyo yung mga naging karanasan at kaalaman ko dito sa Indonesia, where I've been a resident here for the last 40 years. Mga kababayan, maraming salamat po. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.